What is there to talk about here? Because I'm not talking about. There's no reason for me to talk about them.
Yes, there's plenty of reasons. First of all, because they closed the show, and second of all, because a lot of people are talking about them right now.
Don't give a damn who's talking about them.
They're going to be a relevant part of the story.
None of it matters at the end of the day. None of it will matter. That was the whole point of the eulogy. Because they won't matter at the end of the day. Even this end of the show didn't matter. Even Vegas doesn't. I don't give a damn who believes it. It doesn't matter. Let's be legit here. Let's be legit. Does it matter? Does it matter? Do you think something's going to change?
I listen. I don't. But they're going to be a major part of what happens.
I don't give a damn.
I understand that.
They don't exist.
I know, but you might as well say that pretty much all the roster doesn't exist for that matter. Then.
Well, no. There was a reason.
I understand.
There's a specific reason that separates them from everyone else.
I understand that.
They don't exist.
They do exist.
They do not exist.
You're willingly
want to put it over. You call them Bo Dallas and Chris Benoit.
We're not doing that. No, because this is like when we treated the Usos and we laughed for a while and we called them what was it, like Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero or whatever.
That was fucking hilarious.
It was funny for like a month, and then
that would still be funny if I bring it back.
No, it wouldn't be anymore.
They would love. The crowd would pop for that. Are you kidding me? The crowd would pop for that. I'll ask on Twitter. Crowd would pop for that.
I think it was funny for a month, and there's a reason why we moved on from it.
Probably because I forgot. If I remember,
I couldn't hear any of
that to this day.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. You can't hear me?
Yeah, it's coming in a little choppy.
Oh, fuck me.
Oh, no, there you go. Okay, you're clean.
Yeah. So I said, no, crowd will pop for that. If I remember to do it, I'll probably still be doing it to this day. Completely forgot because they're irrelevant. There's no reason to talk about these guys. None whatsoever.
I think there is, especially considering the unthinkable happened.
What was unthinkable?
A certain somebody legitimately got Brock not on the floor, but legitimately got offense on him.
The fuck does that mean? Someone legitimately beat down the Undertaker and kidnapped the guy.
That's fine. But did you ever think
it means anything, Blackjack? None of it.
Listen. I'm not disagreeing with you
about something that doesn't matter.
I mean, then don't talk about. We might as well not talk about Raw. We might as well not even do the review for the pay-per-view. You know what our review should be today? We should just tell everybody it doesn't matter because they're just going to go back next week and nothing's going to matter going into WrestleMania. We might as well tell them WrestleMania doesn't matter. Nothing matters.
WrestleMania matters. No, I don't think it matters. Can't kidnap a dead man. You want to take off your shoes?
Yeah.
You got to unzip the gimmick.
Where?
Right here. Now, can we start the show, sir?
Welcome to the Clean Finish Podcast, everybody.
Hold on, wait. What you mean?
What? This is the Clean Finish Podcast.
You already hit the button?
Yes.
When?
Like 5 minutes ago.
Fuck me.
You said this would be a great time to start the conversation. I wish I had control of the start button, and so I hit the start button for you.
Blackjack, you're a fucking idiot. What? You're taking my gimmick as the idiot, Blackjack. You're taking my gimmick here. Don't take my gimmick. Don't mess up the kayfabe. You're kayfabing me here. Don't mess up the kayfabe. Blackjack's out of control today, people. I don't know what's wrong with him. He wants to talk about something that doesn't exist. He wants to give the inside turns as if he's Josh or Bronson. Blackjack, you're on a roll today.
Welcome to the Clean Finish Podcast, everybody. This is episode 23. Today is January.
Right, not showing up. I don't even know this guy anymore. Who is this guy in the show with me?
It's January 21st of 2016. I am Blackjack. You can follow me on Twitter at It's21Blackjack. That guy is Wiza. He's really salty today. Follow him on Twitter at WiseandNow. Follow the Queen Finish Podcast Twitter at NeQueenFinish. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button down below. Show your support.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got quite a bit to talk about today. I literally slept through Raw. Well, not literally slept through Raw, but I slept after a portion of Raw.
I've done it plenty of times. Don't worry.
And it was legit though. Like I saw
before we started doing the reviews on Mondays. Yeah, I used to fall asleep on a bunch of them. Like not on purpose though. Like not like just straight up, just like 1 minute I'm wide awake tweeting. But when you're messing up is when you're doing it from your phone. That's when you're messing up.
Yeah.
Daddy,
Just say give me.
This was a bad, terrible show that they put on Monday. I mean, have you seen the ratings for it too?
I hear that it was up 5%. I don't know what
overall. Well, overall, it was up. I have to put the exact numbers, but the
5% of though. So you got
that.
I don't know what it's 5% of, but I guess 5 more people were watching.
I have to pull the exact numbers, but dear God, the drop off at hour 3. I mean,
yeah, I was just about to say, I heard that the third hour did nothing, and that's your Brock spot.
Yeah, the third hour was terrible. Spot. I mean, it almost justifies me going to sleep. It really does.
Your Brock spot did the worst gimmick, and it's crazy because they have no one to blame but themselves because they did absolutely shit all to keep people invested and wanting to watch until Brock came out and give people a reason to want to watch.
Yeah, I mean, like there's no point for me watching if all you're gonna do is just stick around all day and not.
How does your rating drop huge when there's no football on? None. What was the competition?
They had no competition. Nothing was on. I mean, technically,
so people didn't even turn the football. They just turned their TV off.
The only thing that they were maybe competing against was that Syracuse. Well, actually, no. That game was done by the 8th hour.
Well, Steph Curry.
By the first hour. I mean,
or anything.
Let me find it. January 18, 2016. Viewers are up, but wait for it. Viewers are up, but not by much for the Royal Rumble Go Home show. It was up to 3.48 million viewers, which was better than the 3.32 million they drew last week against the college football title, but it was down from the 3.57 million from the week before that one. And the breakdown is as such. Hour 1, 3.78. Hour 2, 3.59. So it's essentially a 3.8 and a 3.6. Hour 3, 3.12.
What was the second hour again?
3.59.
Oh my God.
So that's a 0.47 drop.
What do you think was the best thing about Raw?
Becky Lynch and Charlotte.
What about Naomi's pictures that she started putting out?
I mean, yes, it's great to look at, but I couldn't care if she was at ringside.
No. Did you see the backstage one?
Yes. Oh. But that wasn't on Raw.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, go ahead.
This is a terrible show, everybody. I don't know what else to tell you. This show is awful. I mean, listen, I had to get in an argument with somebody today about, well, if you think the show, or where they say like, oh, you either need to stop watching or stop complaining about it. And I'm like, listen, we watch this because we're wrestling fans. Mm-hmm. WWE brings in the best talent in the world. And that's what a lot of the draw is that you're watching the best wrestlers that this planet has to offer. And it's literally starting to become
that's what they sell you on.
It is what they sell you on, but it's almost true in a lot of ways. Because this is where everybody wants to go at some point.
Yeah.
This is where, I mean, look, we're getting ready to get AJ Styles. We're getting ready to get Shinsuke Nakamura. Part of the Bullet Club is coming here. We constantly hear buzzing rumors of guys like Zack Sabre Jr. We see Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa on NXT, Samoa Joe's in NXT. This is where everybody wants to be. And for a lot of people, this is the most accessible wrestling program that they have here in America. So if you want to watch wrestling, there's a good chance you're watching Raw. Because you're not going to be watching the Pop Network or Pop TV to go watch TNA. It's not as accessible as the USA Network.
Here's another thing.
Go ahead.
And you got to throw at the guy. So his argument with you is if you don't like the product, stop watching. All right?
Yeah.
If no one complains, how do they improve? I keep saying that. If no one complains, if everybody's a yes man, how do you ever improve? It doesn't happen. Somebody has to be there kicking you in the ass in order for you to keep improving and keep evolving. Now, you can choose to tone those people out, which is pretty much what they seem to do. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work. As you can see, the ratings are down. So by someone such as that person saying, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Well, there's a lot of people who don't like it and stop watching it. Is it helping?
No. The greatest myth is that if you stop watching, maybe they'll change things. And that's bullshit.
It is, because a lot of people stop. A lot of people. And we're talking about nearing the millions have just completely stopped watching. Nothing has changed. Nothing.
Yeah, pretty much. I could not believe how terrible this Raw was. I mean, it's just mind-boggling how this is your go-home show for the Royal Rumble of all things. You have a storyline pretty much set in that Roman Reigns has his championship on the line at the Rumble. He has to eliminate essentially 29 people to retain his championship. How did you fuck this up?
I don't even remember much of this Raw.
I actually have to pull up notes because I have no clue. I've completely forgotten. I have to.
I hope it's very, very minimal.
It's going to be minimal. There's really nothing to talk about. I love Cage Side. It's a great. It's great. The label for their review just says, "What a stupid go home show."
That's it. That's all you need.
Straight up for the title
in the review.
What a stupid show.
They're not even treating this as one of their big four.
No.
This is one of their big four, and judging by the entire month of Raw, you wouldn't even know it. You wouldn't even notice it.
Mm-mm.
You wouldn't think that this was one of their biggest shows, one of their biggest four. Nope. You would think it would be just like any of the other pay-per-views.
I would have thought this is like, I don't know, Fastlane or something. Battleground.
They want Fastlane to be one of their big shows going forward.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
This show started with people talking. It's exactly what it started with. And at some point, it got so bad to a point that I straight up said that this is a boring 20-minute promo. And it actually went about 20 minutes. I think it fell short at 18.
Are you talking about with the Roman Reigns, Chris Jericho, the League of Nations? My God, this promo went on forever. And all they were arguing about the whole time, they talked and argued about being on Chris Jericho's segment later so they can talk more. They talked for 18 minutes. Let's all talk.
Yes. They didn't like the fact that they weren't invited to the whatever Jericho's thing is to talk. And so they spent 18 minutes talking about it.
Well, we know how this Raw is going to close out. The main event is talking.
People thought, and I thought this too, that they might have done the smart thing and maybe just did the stupid highlight reel at 10 o'clock. And if you want to do your big finish or whatever at 11, you can do that. They waited until 11 o'clock to do
to come in and talk.
Yeah. Just talk. That's it.
This was one of his scheduled contract gimmicks. Come in and talk, Brock.
Brock just got paid. Brock just got paid like, what is it, $300,000, $400,000 to essentially talk.
Okay.
What a waste of Brock Lesnar. Anyway, so Jericho pretty much just goes and he runs down the League of Nations and whatnot, and Roman Reigns and Chris Jericho fist bump each other for whatever reason, even though there was that tag team match where he turned on them, or like he just kind of gave Ambrose the shoulder rub. I mean, like, what the fuck? Anyway, just forget about everything.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
Yeah. What an annoying opening. There's really nothing to say about it. Then afterwards, backstage, he meets up.
No.
Oh, wait. Right. Because not only is Jericho out here promoting his show, but afterwards he decides, you know what? Because Roman Reigns, I think at some point tested Sheamus or Rusev, because Rusev got mad. He's like, when I was in Bulgaria, I throw kids off the bus. Rusev was actually great in this segment.
Rusev is fucking hilarious. Like, yeah, I'm used to Royal Rumbles in that Bulgaria. I used to throw kids off the school bus. I'm like, oh my fucking god.
That was actually pretty good. We'll give Rusev some credit.
Like, he'd be so serious though.
Yes.
He's dead serious.
Yes.
I envisioned him throwing kids off of the school bus, the yellow school bus.
Oh yeah. Just giving them like
this big ass burly guy. Just launching kids out of the school bus window and shit.
And then when he finally gets to the last one, he just stomps on him, puts him in the accolade, and just lets him slump his body straight out the door. Well, Rusev was great here.
That actually wasn't what I wanted to bring up. I wanted to bring up Jericho using the Miz's mic.
I didn't care about that.
What was that about? You didn't notice that?
I did notice it, but I thought it was like maybe it was just a mistake. Maybe they just quickly gave him a mic and didn't realize, oh shit, it's the Miz's mic. I think it was just purely a mistake. I don't think it's a rib. I don't think it means anything. I just think it was a mistake. That's it.
You don't think he was trying to put the Miz over?
No.
Oh no, I don't have to come back. Go ahead.
Okay.
Out here.
So after that, Roman Reigns pretty much tells him, hey, come down here and do something about it. And then Chris Jericho goes and says, well, then we're going to have a match. And to even the odds out here, I'm going to be the special guest referee. And we will have a one-on-one match. It'll be Roman Reigns versus Rusev. Maybe in normal circumstances. Not even in normal circumstances does this make sense. And I'll explain to you every reason why. The first is this. Where the fuck is the authority? When did Jericho get the right to make matches? And why didn't the authority come out to stop this bullshit? Second off, if Rusev and Roman Reigns are in a match, and even if Chris Jericho is the special guest referee, he's not a sanctioned referee by the WWE. He's obviously not somebody the authority would send out there. And there are three heels that are on the outside of this match, both Wade Barrett, Sheamus, and Del Rio. Why the fuck didn't they just go in there and jump Jericho and Reigns? They said these bad guy heels are on the outside of the ring, sitting there, not doing anything, and then Jericho throws each one of them out individually. Get out, get out, get out to all three of them. These are supposed to be heels. But no, they just obeyed the rules. It's like, oh, we're going to argue. Oh, you told us to get out? Fine, we'll get out.
Here's the thing.
What the fuck?
Here's the thing. WWE doesn't have heels. They have faces and they have clowns.
Pretty much.
Fair enough?
Yeah.
Faces and clowns. No heels.
It's just mind-boggling stupid to me. Then even worse is that after all this happened, I mean, Jericho's sitting here doing his cartwheels and everything as an homage to Charles Robinson and everything, and that's fine and dandy and all, but after all that happens, the match and everything, Jericho then goes backstage and runs into Stephanie McMahon.
Oh, hey.
And Stephanie McMahon goes, who told you to go do that?
Just felt like doing it.
I'm like, where the fuck were you?
Yeah, you should have.
Why did you stop anything? If
you had such any other time, why your music ain't hit this time?
Right, like you just didn't have a problem with this until he came backstage. Match already happened. We had a decision made, and now it goes down in the record books. And now you're doing something about it. And it wasn't even like Stephanie found him; he just happened to run into him. So Stephanie goes and talked about
review here.
We're going quickly through this. Quickly.
All right, I'm gonna shut up.
Jericho goes and they talk and just I don't understand why they let this happen, but anyway, just there's really nothing to talk about with it. There's not. Just Stephanie looked like an idiot here.
There you go.
The other thing too is that Jericho made himself look like a contender, or at least talked himself up like he was one. Why the fuck would he assist Roman Reigns in this match then? What was the point? Why would he help anybody? Why not screw over both guys? I don't fucking know. They had the segment with Vince and Steph coming out to do the balls.
The balls.
The stupid ping pong balls.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That thing. And what may have been the only funny thing on this Raw, and by funny, I mean it was so bad it was funny, was Vince McMahon trying to open up the balls and not being able to do so. This jacked man, who I understand, yes, is 70, but he's ridiculously jacked. It's almost like a rib on him. It's just like, oh, here's this big jacked guy and he can't open balls. It all turned out to be that Roman Reigns was number one in the Royal Rumble. Who the fuck didn't see this coming? And why didn't they just announce this earlier? They could have announced this 2 weeks ago. Was anybody going to be surprised at anybody else being the number one person going in?
So they did this entire thing.
Yeah.
Just to see who was going to be number one?
Yes.
Not number 2, 3, 4, none of that.
No, just number one. And they did the thing where it's just like, oh, well, let's put the ball back in. Oh, no, get it. We're the bad guys. It's Roman Reigns. This could have worked. This could have worked one way. If Roman Reigns actually comes out after they name the number one contender, as I name the number one guy going in, and let's say Roman Reigns goes and he dumps all the balls out and sees, wait a minute, everything has my name on it. And then goes, you know what? Fine. You want to screw me over? You want to make me the number one guy? Fine. I'll go in and I'll beat everybody or something like that. There you go. Save the whole damn segment. You don't have to go through picking the balls 3 times and having nobody get their comeuppance or whatnot. Just something. Anyway, waste of a segment. What else happened?
Man, damn it.
Natalya and Brie Bella had a match because Paige and Alicia Fox don't like each other.
What?
I don't know. Paige.
Okay. All right.
The story is this.
We'll continue on.
I know. Natty and Paige had this thing going on 2 months ago, right? Remember when it was just like, well,
yeah,
Paige attacking Natalya backstage?
Allegedly. And
now all of a sudden they're friends again.
Because she couldn't prove her wrong.
No, because Total Divas.
Okay.
And so apparently on Total Divas, Paige and Alicia Fox are having this little tiff, and Alicia Fox unfollowed her. So that's the reason why Natalya and Brie Bella are having a match. Natalya and Brie Bella are having a match because 2 other people completely unrelated. I mean, what the fuck? All this to promote a fucking Total Divas show. I thought we were fucking past this already.
I personally think we have better things to talk about.
Big Show versus Heath Slater.
I think we have better things to talk about.
I don't understand why this social outcast thing. Becky Lynch versus Tamina.
Okay, all right. We could do this.
I mean, she got the best possible match she could have out of Tamina.
Yeah,
she really did. She did about as well as she could have. And that's not to completely downgrade Tamina either, because she didn't look that bad in this match.
Just look a little bad.
I mean, I wouldn't say a little bad. I think it was just fine. I thought Tamina was fine, actually.
No, I don't. I'm just fucking around.
I know. What was really the best part of this was after the match was over, because this is the only feud that WWE has booked right now that, first of all, makes any sense and that actually has any sort of heat behind it.
Yeah.
Becky Lynch afterwards.
Wow, now.
Yeah, Becky Lynch afterwards. Well, granted, she looked like an idiot about a month or so ago, and it only took her now to finally turn it around, and that's why it's gotten good, because they finally just
fiery redhead chick. It's good stuff.
Yes. Becky then goes and cuts her promo to the crowd and says, I give me your answer. I really want a title match at the pay-per-view. And Charlotte and Ric Flair just go no. And she goes and runs down Charlotte a little bit and then talks about Ric Flair and does the little bit where she does this little rhyme, wheeling, dealing, jet stealing, whatever. I can't remember the words off the top of my head. Really, really great. And it pretty much taunted Flair by saying, you're a 2-time Hall of Famer. And she said something to the degree of, I think she said, what would all those Hall of Famers think? Because, you never ran from a fight, which is not true at all. I mean, he assembled the 4 horsemen essentially for that reason, so that he didn't have to fight. But to her point essentially was that, he's taunting that, you're a Hall of Famer, you want to be respectful to all those Hall of Famers that you had all those great matches with, right? Then maybe she should have a match with me, is essentially her point. Great promo after all. She did enough to bait Ric Flair into making Charlotte go into that match. Charlotte was upset, as she should be. And there you go.
I have to ask one more time. Where was the authority?
That's a fair point.
I mean, like, anybody can make matches at this point.
Pretty much.
Charlotte never agreed to the match, by the way.
No.
Never agreed to it.
No. We need William Regal here.
Yes. Regal would have come out and said, no, we don't do that.
Or he would have just said, all right, fine, we're having a contract signing.
I make the matches. Not you, me.
Right. And then he would have probably ruled in favor of Becky, but still, somebody actually needs to be in charge.
Someone of authority needs to come out and make an authoritative move.
Yes. Dean Ambrose and Kalisto versus the League of Nations. Kevin Owens on commentary may have been the only thing in this match that I cared about, which is a shame because I like Dean Ambrose. I want the League of Nations to succeed and actually be good. And people were starting to at least start to get behind Kalisto until he lost the U.S. title, and then he lost again tonight, which is a great look for a guy that you're trying to build into a U.S. title match for the Royal Rumble. I don't know what they're doing. And I said, you know what? Let's wait and see.
Pay his dues first. Gotta pay.
I said, you know what? Just wait a minute. Let me see what we do. Like, they don't understand how to actually build sympathy for guys. They really don't. They don't understand how it works.
I've got nothing here. I've got nothing for this Raw. We could literally fly through this.
I am, but we have to at least recap it. We're already more than halfway done.
We're not trying to hit everything in a description. We don't have a description here.
New Day. And they did their little thing in the back for Francesca, their little funeral. They have a shirt about it now, which is, something. They made fart jokes. Then they had a match with the Usos. And I think Big E went over on one of the Usos. So it was a match.
Buy a little cheat device.
Mm-hmm. I fell asleep at the 8-man tag with Mark Henry, R-Truth, and Titus O'Neil with Neville. I did see the GIF afterwards of the botch where Titus O'Neil was supposed to.
That man Titus mad backed up, yo. Why he throw that man like that?
I don't know. Mark Henry wasn't ready for him to throw him that high.
Full blown man, he throw him like a football.
That is, if you haven't seen the GIF already, there's somebody who made a GIF of pretty much essentially.
This shit was so unnecessary.
Of essentially what has been Tyler Breeze's career in WWE or throughout WWE altogether, where it was just like, all right, here's NXT, you're on the rise, and then WWE, we botched you and dropped you on your head. Oops. What a shame, because he's actually a great worker. You can actually do something with the fucking guy.
Well, did you see the news on Tyler Breezes?
Oh yeah, that Vince just didn't see anything with like Triple H wanted to protect him, and then it just took everything away.
Not that. About him leaving.
Oh, leaving early.
Yeah,
I would want to too.
And that was the reason why they like backstage all management didn't know that he actually asked and gave him a reason, and he just left. And everybody didn't know the reason, so they were pissed off about it.
So that's the reason why they haven't been pushing him, because they've been burying this guy way earlier than this. The story came out.
Well, I don't know when this happened.
From what I know from the story, it seems like it happened recently. But to be honest, I wouldn't listen. If the guy left early, I don't fucking blame him. He's been treated like shit since he came up. Now, if he had a reason, then there's no reason to have any heat on him. If he asked for a pardon and he left, he got permission. So it shouldn't fucking care. I say it shouldn't fucking matter. It's just amazing to me. They gave him Summer Rae. And it's not like Summer Rae's doing something else right now. Summer Rae's doing nothing.
She's still there?
Yeah. She still exists. She's still there with the company. So why did you break them up? It's not like you broke them up for something better. You actually broke them up for something worse.
She took Oksana's role.
What a stupid show. And we closed out. We have Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. They came out to the ring and they did the main segment. Oh, no. Sorry. They started out with Jericho and Paul Heyman talking for fucking ever.
Yo, your man Jericho? Who do they want to believe this? Who do they want to believe Jericho?
I don't know. But here was the worst thing of all of it. While he's doing this,
Jericho,
he's talking to Paul Heyman, and he goes, hey, Paul.
How does Paul Heyman not like burst out laughing?
I don't know. Because he's got to sell him at least.
No.
How like my thing is this. He goes to Heyman and he's like, what happens if it's me? What happens if it's me and Brock at the end of the Royal Rumble? And I'm like, it would be you two in the ring and one of you needs to throw each other over the top rope. That's what.
Probably Brock throwing you out, but okay.
And then he goes, what if I eliminate or I throw Brock Lesnar over the top rope?
Right there.
And then I'm just like, well, if you did throw Brock Lesnar over the top rope and you two were the last ones in there, you would win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And then he goes, what happens if I win and I become a 7-time World Heavyweight Champion? Well, you be the fucking champion, Chris Jericho. Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, so you're playing this from the angle that Jericho really didn't know what would happen if these things happened.
Yes, apparently, because he needed to ask Paul Heyman.
I want to know, like, how did the crowd react to Jericho's nonsense? I don't even think they reacted. I don't think they cared. I don't think they believed a single, like. Jericho.
I like how he hasn't even wrestled since he came back.
Outside of a house show.
The last match that he wrestled, he lost.
Outside of the house show in Japan. When's the last time Jericho won a match?
I can't remember. I couldn't tell you.
But he's talking about being in the ring with Brock.
He broke a trombone, and now he's like one of the big contenders now.
He's talking about going against Brock. Okay.
Listen, Chris Jericho was one of my favorite wrestlers growing up. I love Chris Jericho. WCW Chris Jericho, especially when he was just a whiny crybaby, was great. He came over to the WWE, great. When he in 2002, when was it 2009? When I missed that whole part of wrestling, but when I went back and watched him do the whole suit gimmick where he was just legitimately being a heel, great. This Chris Jericho that we've got in the past 2 years can go fuck himself. I cannot stand this Jericho character. My God, is he annoying? I've never been more annoyed by this guy.
Yep.
Can he wear a shirt, please?
Yo, what's up with him, yo?
I don't know.
Last week came out jacket, tie, no shirt. This week, jacket, no shirt. With the Kofi chest.
The only time he wore a shirt was when he was the special guest referee.
So now he's got a little shirt gimmick going on.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, man.
He frustrates me, man. Like, oh man. So afterwards, Brock Lesnar's music hits, and he starts walking down after Jericho insulted him by saying that he was going to become WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And I think 5 seconds within Brock Lesnar's music hitting, Roman Reigns' music hit. Which normally I would not have a problem with, but I had a problem with it tonight. Let that man get to the ring first and fucking destroy Jericho and then come down there.
That's the new gimmick. Getting cut off.
This isn't like Becky Lynch cutting off Charlotte's entrance. No.
What he does.
So Roman Reigns comes down, and I actually don't remember what happened. I think maybe they didn't brawl right away, did they?
I don't fucking remember.
Who cares? So they get out there. Oh, I know what happened. The League of Nations came in there after Roman Reigns speared Brock, and then Brock started to get out some of the League of Nations and was suplexing them all crazy. I think he got to, he suplexed everybody. And then sure enough, when he got up, Roman Reigns hit him with another spear.
Another one.
Thank you, DJ Khaled. And sure enough, the crowd booed.
Did they?
Yes. They booed this. You want to know why? Because they waited all this damn time for Brock Lesnar, who was the big goddamn the big sell for all this, for waiting all this time. And Brock Lesnar came out and he did not get the destruction that people were expecting him to get.
When Brock Lesnar came out, he didn't even really get that much of a pop on his entrance.
Well, people were restless at this point.
Okay.
Let's be honest. They didn't pop for most anything in this whole Raw.
Did they have a reason to?
No, they didn't. So he came out, and when he came out and he was starting to get a little bit of offense off, and they wanted to really see a brawl between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, what we got was Roman Reigns spearing him twice and Brock Lesnar just sitting there. So yeah, everybody booed. No shit. Remember what was so awesome about Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns being in the ring together as they were going into the fast lane? They beat the shit out of each other.
I was thinking about that today. Still trying to figure out why we have yet to get that Roman Reigns back. Why was that a one-time thing?
Because he's secretly really an authority guy.
That Roman Reigns from that night, I think that's where the money is.
Yes.
I think that's the guy that everyone wants to be. Like, I'm going to go to you keep talking. I'm going to find that match on the network because I just want to get a picture of Roman Reigns' face.
Of the match from Fastlane or the...
Yes, the match from Fastlane. Just Roman Reigns' face in that match. The guy meant business. This looked like a fucking killer. And we have yet to ever get that again. I think that they only did that because it was Daniel Bryan. And that's the only way that you could get some type of reaction out of him No, we're not doing that. Out of him, when it comes to Daniel Bryan, because if you're in the ring with Daniel Bryan, you're not getting no reaction. It's just not going to happen.
Well, there's actually something I want to bring up with Roman Reigns when we get there. But continuing on. So after the second spear, all of a sudden the fucking Wyatts come out.
Mm-hmm.
And they laid out Brock and Roman Reigns.
It's a kickoff show. Hold on, I'm sorry. You said what?
It actually fucking happened, Wyatt. Yes, the Wyatts came out. If you want to leave, that's fine. I don't care. It's fine. They came out. And sure fucking enough, everybody got their offense off. Brock laid there and took his sister Abigail, got kissed on his forehead. And then on top of that, fucking Rowan, Eric Rowan of all people. They finally gave this guy something. He actually got a spinning heel kick on Brock Lesnar. That happened. Never in a million years did I think that would happen. And I think it's hilarious that all of a sudden now they want to try to get over this mid-card act. Someone that they have essentially made a mid-card act and try to sell them on us and try to sell them to us. It's ridiculous. Nobody believes this at all. And the funnier thing is to hear people talk about them and go like, oh my God, yes, just give Bray the World Heavyweight Championship now. It would be the best thing to do for them. I'm like, first of all, they have no fucking momentum behind them. Zero momentum. They haven't won a major feud at all. It does no good, zero good to put the title on him. You want to build him? Then fine. Build him up. You want to work him in an Intercontinental title feud a few months down the road? Fine. But right now, the house is on fire. The house is on fire. Let's put out the fire first, solve that problem, and then build from there. It's just amazing to me because the only guy there with any title credibility is Luke Harper, who won the Intercontinental Championship. And sure enough, they didn't even give him a full month. He lost it to Dolph Ziggler right back. So you have a team with no credibility and you're just going to thrust them straight into the WWE World Heavyweight Championship picture. Of course, nobody's really going to get behind that. I don't have anything else to say about them because I don't believe in them, honestly. So that's all I got to say. If Liza wants to come back, he can come back. But listen, it needs to be said. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like they don't exist. It's fine. Listen, I'm not doing this whole thing where they don't exist. It was fun for a month, but after a while, they're there. They're going to be a major part of the Royal Rumble. They're going to be a major part of it. So we might as well stop acting like they don't exist because I'm not going to sit here and talk about how Ghost threw people over the top rope. I'm not doing that. No, I do realize that they push them at every Rumble. I do know that. I'm not expecting them to win at all. But if they're going to be a major part of this thing, we have to talk about them. Anyway, one of the things I wanted to talk about with Roman Reigns. So Roman Reigns, when we were talking about the whole Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns thing, Roman Reigns just recently came out in an interview for Channel Guide magazine with Scott Fishman. And he said that he's just trying to be himself and have fun because, quote unquote, fun reflects. And he said, everything is a process. We have to remember this is a show. We have storylines. Believe me, nobody wants more than to show up to the building and do what he wants to do than me. I love to just show up and say, this is what I'm doing. Thank you. I'll see you out there. But it is a process. It's a creative process, which I love. I love to be able to collaborate with people and bounce ideas and brainstorm together. That's the most important thing. Sometimes you have to do what is best for the team, and you have to earn equity with respect and trust. Then when it gets to that point where you can let your hair down and run with the ball, you do that. Fortunately for me, I stayed the course. You've seen some bad stuff, some decent stuff, and what I like to think, some great stuff. It's all about growth and progression. There is no off season, so we have plenty of time and platforms with the shows we have to put that out there and show the evolution of a character and personality. That's where I am now. I'm just trying to be me and have fun because fun reflects. People see that and enjoy themselves as a result. Now, as we just mentioned, the best Roman Reigns that we've gotten was around the time that he was in that feud with Daniel Bryan, when he got angry and he was treated, he felt like a real person. And he went all at it against Daniel Bryan. I thought that's when he was at his best. Absolutely. This kind of, I'm not saying that Roman Reigns shouldn't have fun. The actual person, Joe Anoi, whatever his real name is, if he wants to have fun with this, that's fine. I hope he's having fun. He has the title right now. Dude's going on interviews everywhere. He's on national TV. He's pretty much in John Cena's role. He should be having fun with this. But as a character, I think evolving as just kind of like this fun John Cena-esque character that he's kind of become isn't really that fun. At least it doesn't portray so to the audience. I think the best Roman Reigns that we've gotten is, like we talked about a little earlier, was when he was going up against Daniel Bryan. And when they had that brawl, it was great because it felt real and it was something that we could get behind. This Roman Reigns that we have now is not really something that everybody can get behind and have fun with and really enjoy. We're having a really tough time trying to buy into him. I mean, everybody said, oh, well, he's hot now with the, with him attacking Triple H. But again, that was based on Triple H and Vince McMahon. And now that Vince has kind of worn out his welcome Triple H will be back soon. But now that Vince has kind of worn out his welcome, it's almost like Reigns just it doesn't really feel anything. You know what I mean? And one of the things that I thought about, because I posted an article not too long ago, if you want to check it out on Kate's side, about why Roman Reigns is not Stone Cold and the authority angle isn't working. I had a good discussion about this where the big problem with Roman Reigns is that or not even Roman Reigns, it's just that they're treating, you can't have him be Stone Cold. Stone Cold drank beer. He was an asshole. He would flip you off. He's not the image of what corporate would want. So when the corporation went against him, it made sense. And when you have Roman Reigns, who's this clean-cut guy, he does cancer ads, he's winking and looking at his family, saying happy birthday to his daughter. That's a guy that they would want. They've gone out of their way to say that that's a guy that they want. And one of the other things that doesn't make sense to me either is that with Roman Reigns, he really didn't have a reason to spear Triple H. Triple H, as a matter of fact, always was kind of behind the idea of having Roman Reigns being the face of the authority. That's what he wanted. Roman was just kind of like, no, I don't want to do that. I mean, what's his motive really? Why is he so mad at Triple H? Or, why didn't he want to be that? And I mean, because remember, Triple H was essentially ready to just tell Roman, hey, here's your bye. Here's your bye week. You can pretty much just go straight to the championship match. I just think that the authority has to do a way better job of making it feel like this guy's life is a living hell. And they haven't done that. Think about it. When they were going to do our version of One versus All, why wasn't the title on the line? If you're proactively trying to get the title off of this guy, he should be in a title match almost every night. You should pretty much be doing your own version of the Open Challenge, where it's just like, all right, we're going to throw everybody on the roster at you and try to get this title off of you. Maybe this is why it's not having as much steam as it should have. It's because they're not giving it or giving Roman the challenge that he really should have going into the Rumble. It's just mind-boggling to me that they've botched this so bad with so much heat coming out of it. Other things I'm going to talk about are AJ Styles, as I think people have seen. John Cena posted a picture on Instagram of AJ Styles, and AJ Styles actually fired back as a little bit of a joke, a little jab, little nudge, nothing obviously in bad taste. He posted a picture of John Cena back from his OVW days with the blonde highlights and looking like the prototype. I thought it was hilarious. So yeah, it's seeming like the reports are that AJ Styles could be in as soon as the Royal Rumble on Friday. There have been reports that maybe it'll be the Raw after the Royal Rumble. Who knows? I think everything is just kind of in the balance right now, but I am expecting AJ Styles to debut at the Rumble. I'm glad that they haven't done any, I'm glad that WWE themselves, even though they posted on the website, they haven't done any video packages or anything, hinting that AJ Styles will be there. So I'll still pop for it when he gets out there, when he shows up. I'm totally on board with it. I'll be amazed when he comes out, and I want to see what he does. I hope they don't just throw him out instantly. I hope that he gets a good amount of time to work in there and battle with Roman Reigns. Here's another weird thing that I thought about too with the Royal Rumble, is that if the idea that you're doing here is that Roman, if you eliminate, well, I understand that it's really you want to get to the end, essentially, but the bounty is pretty much on Roman Reigns' head, and you want to get this guy out because he has the title. I don't know. Maybe I haven't thought this all the way through yet, but if the goal is to become WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and the WWE World Heavyweight Champion is still in the ring, shouldn't everybody be gunning for the WWE World Heavyweight Champion to try to get him out first? I understand that your chances would increase the more guys you get out because you want it to essentially be one-on-one at some point. But we understand that it has been difficult to get rid of Roman Reigns. So I would think the Authority would put a bit of an incentive to constantly have guys go after Roman Reigns and try to throw him out. So I'll be absolutely disappointed if this turns into people not going after Roman Reigns and instead going out of their way to throw other guys out. Now, there may be some exceptions for certain people. Like if Dean Ambrose is in there or if Usos are in there, they should be trying to clean guys out. But honestly, I think the Authority should be intentionally trying to leave the Usos and Dean Ambrose out of there to not give Roman Reigns any help. I don't know if that'll happen, but who knows? Let's see. What else do we have here? And then we can talk about, because I'm still going through everything. Josh from Tough Enough. I know we made kind of a joke about it earlier. Josh from Tough Enough made the stupid tweet about he said, "Yep, I like it," and it was like hashtag social jobbers. He's gotten a lot of heat from Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens essentially called him out, blocked him. Stardust said he was banned from the locker room. The Social Outcasts themselves have gone after him. And that's fair. I mean, he called them social jobbers, so naturally they're going to go and say something. Then you also had what's that guy's name? Bull Dempsey, who at least tried to calm him down and say, "Hey, listen, these guys paved the way for you. Why would you disrespect them like that? You have to understand, these guys have done a lot for you to even be in the position that you're in." Lance Storm has even chimed in on it as well. And Lance Storm has talked about, with these guys, maybe they'll get over it, just buy them like a few their favorite beer or something like that. And, just admit your mistakes. Now, to be fair, Muhammad Hassan has done that in the past, and that didn't do him any favors either. But there have been some people who have claimed that this was bullying. Paige may have made a tweet talking about that as well, but said it very vaguely, in which he said, about bullying. And I understand that because Paige and Josh hang out a lot. If anybody has seen her Snapchat, Paige actually posted or snapped some pictures of like Josh at the club, which has now gotten even more heat on him because now people are calling out him and having kids and a wife and whatnot. So that's becoming an even nastier situation. But my take on it is this: I don't think this is bullying at all. Bullying is what they did to Daniel Puder. If you ever go back and watch that Royal Rumble where Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit stopped what they were doing and got and the second Daniel Puder got in there, they chopped him to death, suplexed him to death, waited for Bob Holly to come out there, and Bob Holly chopped him to death. Like, Alabama slammed him so hard. Like, they tried to absolutely kill this guy before they threw him out. Buried the hell out of him. That's bullying. Here, I don't see this as bullying. I see this as reacting to something that the guy said. And, this is a team mentality. It's the same way in like the NFL or in basketball where, like Blair Walsh misses his field goal. The team doesn't go out and bury him. They usually get behind him and say, hey, you know what? We shouldn't have put you in that position where it should have came down to a field goal. Adrian Peterson said, you know what? It's on me. I fumbled the football. Sure, they at least got him in a position to win, but it's not fully Blair Walsh's fault. There are going to be people, his teammates are going to defend him because that's who they go in the trenches with every week. That's their guy. Even when your quarterback is playing bad, teammates stand up for their guy because that's who they're going to war with every week. And that's who's going to be on their side. It's that same mentality exists in WWE as well, where they're all friends. These are people that work in a business together. You remember when CJ Parker broke Kevin Owens' nose on that open palm strike? Remember that? After that, Kevin Owens went and all he did was say glowing things about CJ Parker, how great he is. People should, after he left NXT as well, people should be booking him right away. He's a special guy. Never did anything to bury him. Had nothing but good things to say about him. So don't make this out to be Kevin Owens being like a bad guy or anything like that. The guy's intentions mean well. And I think that he has a point here, and so did Stardust, is that if you don't have any respect for us, we're not going to respect you either. Sure, it's a dumb mistake on Josh's part, but I understand where they're coming from as well. And especially in a business where guys are doing their damnedest and their hardest to try to get over, it's especially even more damning to do that as an employee who works there. It's different when we as friends talk about, we as fans or commoners talk about somebody in a job or role. I'm sure the social outcasts know that they're in a role where they're pretty much jobbers. They get that. But when you're working as a wrestler there as well, you can't say that. You can't. You respect everybody. I think I've said my piece on that. Moving forward, I don't think there's too much else to talk about. I know SmackDown is on tonight. We have to go and talk about NXT. The funny thing is that actually for the Royal Rumble, Triple H is currently favored to win. Vegas odds have him favored. He's favored to win. Roman Reigns is right under him. I think Brock Lesnar is the other guy right underneath him. There's also the report that Austin Aries may be coming to WWE, which is great news. It's really funny that Austin Aries and AJ Styles are two guys that I thought should have been in WWE like years ago. And now they're coming over. And I understand there's a lot of issues with it, issues with, them being in, TNA and, just the timing and whatnot. I get it. Also, CM Punk is going to be fighting in UFC I think his match is in June. And he says that he's going to fight all 8 times that his contract states that he's going to fight. At least 8 times is what he said. He may fight more. Who knows? All right, let's go ahead and talk NXT. NXT this week started out with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn came out to the ring and had a match against Adam Rose, if I'm not mistaken. So this was really kind of his first match there at Full Sail, if I'm not mistaken. I know he had the match in London, but in terms of a Full Sail, this is his first match back. Adam Rose actually got a lot of the offense in this one. And it started out with them just kind of feeling each other out, doing some chain work. But Adam Rose actually got a lot of the offense off. And then Sammy just happened to catch him in the STO and then hit him with a Koji clutch. Just kind of came out of nowhere. Quick 5-minute match. Adam Rose taps out. And yeah, so he's going to be in the triple threat. I think it's next week is Sami Zayn. Pretty good match. Good to see Sami Zayn work. Adam Rose didn't look bad either. It's amazing how down in NXT, Adam Rose can actually get a reaction. And yet on the main roster, he can't. It was weird to also hear him just come back with his normal Rosebud music and not, the new kind of like where he comes out and he's like, he's a party pooper or whatever. Then we went backstage. Johnny Gargano was there with Rich Brennan. They did an interview. And he pretty much said, I'm not going to back down against Samoa Joe. He knows that Samoa Joe is a bully, and he's going to punch that bully right in his mouth. Then they cut outside with Chad Gable and Jason Jordan. They were a little upset that they weren't on the ballot for the Tag Team of the Year for 2015, especially because they'd beaten Blake and Murphy. And they were in the running for the award. And they were like, oh, well, that happened in 2015, didn't it? And we're like, yeah. So it's nice to see that there's actually some legitimate heat on the NXT awards already. So they know that they're going to be challenging what are their names? Blake and Murphy. He said they kind of came up with a name. They decided to go with, we're I think they said something like we're men, we're American, or we're alpha males, and we're American alpha. They kind of rolled with the name. I think there could be worse names, but hey, let's see how it works. So they're American alpha now. Gable did his little ready willing. Jordan seemed like he didn't like it, but then sure enough, he said, and Gable at the end. These two are great. I love these two together. Afterwards, we then got Ty Dillinger versus Apollo Crews. I didn't hate this match, but there just something didn't connect with me in this match. I think it's that Dillinger is a very well-liked heel, and that Crews is also a very well-liked babyface. But Dillinger is acting as a heel. I don't know. So something just felt off. Because it's not their ring work. Their ring work was fine. They even got down to Dillinger looking like he might win by hitting that when he like pulls down his knee pad and then like I guess it would be like a face breaker. So yeah, I mean it was overall I thought chemistry wise it was a good match. It was well worked. It just something in terms of how the match actually went didn't really connect with me. I really like Ty Dillinger, honestly. I think maybe it's something more of it's missing from Apollo Crews for me. Because I thought Ty Dillinger was actually fine in this match. I thought Ty Dillinger was pretty great. At some point, they need to kind of figure out what they're doing with him. I know that they have him in that weird kind of like he'll beat nobodies and he'll beat guys whose name may be kind of familiar in NXT. But the second you get to the Indies guys, it's like he's not beating them. I want to say it's like Tyler Breeze area, but I would actually think this is more like early days Baron Corbin area. Then after the match happened, Cruz hit his tossing, spinning power bomb, sit out power bomb he does. It's really sick looking. And then afterwards he said, I want to finish this match with Finn. He wanted to know what the decision would be. It didn't have to be for the title, he said. He hasn't earned his title shot yet, is what he said. But he wants to know what would happen. So he's pretty much asking for a no disqualification match. I will say this. I disagree with Apollo Crews in the he didn't earn his title shot thing. Because while he did lose to Baron Corbin at TakeOver, he did earn his title shot in the Battle Royal. And when he got his match against Finn Balor, a match in which, we don't know what the finish was. When he got that match, it got thrown out because Baron Corbin came in and ran in and got him got him disqualified. So there's his title shot. He never got a fair shot to begin with. So I don't understand why he just surrendered so quickly to not having or not earning a title shot. I don't get that at all. Then backstage we had Blake and Murphy, who were making fun of Gable and Jordan in their new name. And all the while, there's one of the reporters. I don't know what his name is. I was trying to ask him some questions, but they were completely no selling him. As Alexa Bliss is there at the end, just kind of playing with her hand jewel thing. And then after a while, she just kind of goes and stops everything, makes the reporter put the mic at her face, and she starts pretty much undressing Blake and Murphy, verbally undressing them, and talks about how they embarrassed her at London for not winning. But then she said, you know what? It took half the tag team roster to beat them. And she said she was going to lead by example and show them how to get things done when she tagged with Emma later tonight against Bayley and Carmella. Alexa Bliss is great as a heel. Great promo. Great on the mic. They have to give her some wins. They got to give her something. They have to give her something. Because I know Wiza commented on this on Twitter, but that's one of the things that Alexa Bliss is missing, is that her words are great and her work is great. But if she's not winning, what does it matter? Afterwards, they did a tease video for the Vaudevillains, and they started out with the normal kind of like happy music, and then it seemed to kind of like bleed out. So it seems like heel turn coming for the Vaudevillains. Either that or they're getting a bit of a makeover. So I don't know what's happening there, but I'll be interested to see what happens. Because I think I kind of like the Vaudevillains when they were heels. I think their gimmick works best when they're heels. But then at the same time, there's that thing where it's like, at some point, Aiden English and Simon Gotch are going to have to go to the main roster, right? So I don't know how much longer the Vaudevillain 20s kind of gimmick can work. I know it'll work in NXT. NXT will get it over all the time, but in WWE, they get one look at that. Vince may decide in 2 weeks, never mind, let's cut the cord on these guys. So I don't know. We'll see what they have in store. Then he showed a video of Kevin Owens, who appeared in the live show at Milwaukee, as he showed up there after Sami Zayn won his match against Tommaso Ciampa. Yeah, I mean, what a great way to advertise your house shows too, is that anybody can show up there, and sure enough, they showed Kevin Owens is the guy who shows up. It was great. So afterwards, we got the Baron Corbin and Rich Swann match. Rich Swann's first match in NXT. He's been there for a while, so it's not like this is Gargano or Ciampa, where you have to wonder if he's signed or not. Swann is signed with NXT. So and he came out as Rich Swann, which tells me that either he doesn't have a name yet, or they're going to let him roll as Rich Swann for a while. If they just let him keep the name Rich Swann and sign him to a contract where he can keep his name, more power to him. Really, really, really fun match because essentially Baron Corbin just had to. It's not like Baron Corbin didn't work in this match, but for a good part of this, all Baron Corbin had to do was, and I don't literally mean this, I figuratively mean this, hold Rich Swann's hand and just let him do all his acrobatic flippy shit. So Rich Swann got to do all of his acrobatic flippy shit, and then when it came time for Baron Corbin to hit big moves, he did, and Rich Swann sold the fuck out of him. The monkey flip that he did, or not the monkey flip, I guess the backdrop that he did where Rich Swann essentially sold it into a 450, I thought was great. That was amazing. They did the spot where I think Baron Corbin had him in like a headlock of some sort, and Rich Swann was able to fight to the turnbuckle, and he flipped over Baron Corbin. I thought he was going to go for like Kalisto Salida del Sol. I guess it's called a Shiranui. I thought that's what he was going to go for, but he flipped out of it, and then at some point, Baron Corbin just caught him with the. They've officially named it that spinning side slam that he does. They've named it Deep Six, and lost. Rich Swann lost. I've said for a long time that Baron Corbin, that swinging side slam that he does, needs to be is a move that puts guys away. And finally it did here. So now he has two moves that look really, really vicious. One that's his actual finisher, and a move that looks vicious enough that it could be like a second finisher. So that's actually great. Then we had Carmella and Bayley backstage as they were being interviewed. They talked a bit about their friendship and the upcoming match for the title. And they said that they'll worry about that after the tag match tonight. And then Dash and Dawson came out of nowhere and cut them off. And they made fun of Carmella. They started calling them Mel, or what was it, Mella or Carms? Carms, that's what it is. So they called her Carms, and they pretty much said that they're just like Enzo and Cass, that they can't win the big one. So they pretty much just started taunting her. And what I loved about this is that it really makes the universe feel and NXT feel as if it matters. You know what I mean? Like, you won't get this in WWE where there's this intermingling going on. In reality, I mean, other than the association with Enzo and Cass, Carmella should be having like no interaction with Dash and Dawson. But they used her as a shield, funny enough, in that tag match in London, and then just came back here and was just like, hey, your two guys that you hang out with are dorks. But they were discussing her women's match coming up. And they said that they're just like her, that she's just like them. Thought that was great. It makes the world feel real there in NXT. That these are characters that have real motives. They don't feel like fake people that are told to pop up on screen when we tell you to, or you have to do this at this exact time. It feels like a live, breathing show, which I really like. Afterwards, they had Emma come down to the ring. Apparently, Dana Brooke is injured, and I didn't know this. So Emma comes down to the ring. After she comes out, then Alexa comes down and does her whole entrance, and then she does the hair whip to Emma as they start to kind of like maybe it seems like they're having a bit of a dissension there. Then Carmella comes out and Bayley comes out, and they immediately get the heat on I think it was both Carmella and Bayley. They start wailing on Bayley, and Bayley had to start selling what was it, her arm? I believe it was. Yeah, it was like her right arm. And so they worked the whole match on her arm. I don't remember too much about this match. I think Bayley, for the most part, was selling. And then Carmella got in a hot tag and then went all crazy. Like, she hit a Thez press and then hit her her spot in the corner, like after she does, like she starts like stamping her feet all crazy and putting her hands up in the air and going wild. And then she went and threw Emma out of the ring, and then she hit that reverse STO, and then put Alexa in that. I keep calling it like because it's set up like a Koji clutch would be set up. But it's a head scissor that she puts him in. Puts him in that head scissor. It looks really, really good too. It looks damn good. And made Alexa tap out. So they get the clean pinfall here not the clean pinfall, the clean submission here to put to put Carmella over. And I mean, Carmella needs the wins because they need to build her up legitimately. And she didn't look bad in this match. She actually looks like she could hold her own. I mean, granted, I would love to see Emma and Alexa get built up, but I mean, if your program right now is that you're building Carmella, they're doing the right thing and they're building her. So all the credit in the world to them by doing the right thing here. Also, Dana Brooke on the side just kind of yelling things like where it's like she's obviously like hitting people on the outside, and then the ref comes up to her and she's just like, I'm not touching her. Like things like that she does on the outside as a heel, I think are great. Then afterwards, we had the main event match of Johnny Gargano versus Samoa Joe. Wait. Sorry. Then there was a spot with William Regal, who said that who is back there with Finn Balor. I'm sorry. Finn Balor said that he spoke to William Regal and that he would have his match against Apollo Crews. And I think that's actually supposed to be next week, or is it 2 weeks from now? I can't remember. But they're supposed to have a match during this time period. After that, they had the Johnny Gargano versus Samoa Joe match. Did not go long. This went 4 minutes. He got less time than Tommaso Ciampa. Granted, it was a fun little match. I mean, Gargano did what he had to do here. Essentially the Daniel Bryan underdog role, who doesn't really give up. He doesn't stay down, keeps fighting his whole way through. And he kept trying to strike at Joe. But then sure enough, Joe he's a monster. At some point, he found an opening, and all he has to do is just lock in that coquina clutch once, and it's over. Essentially what happened here. Coquina clutch. Gargano tapped out. Samoa Joe stood tall. I can't think of much else. It was just pretty much a clean cut finish. It was overall, I thought it was a decent show. And the more that I watch Samoa Joe, and to be fair, I'm not the first person to say this. I've heard of a Wrestling Observer. Solid Monster just said it on Sunday. I don't understand why Samoa Joe isn't the top heel right now on the main roster. Seriously, think about that. Look at it. Look at his work in NXT. Look at him. Look at him. Look who you've got on the main roster right now. Sheamus is technically your top heel right now. Sheamus. You have no credible guys. And here's this absolute workhorse monster, man beast that at least not only size-wise looks like he can compete with Roman Reigns, but can actually get some sort of heat, and you can have him here in NXT? Now, to be fair, I think one of the issues that they may run into is that Samoa Joe is actually well-liked, even though he's a heel, so he may get cheered against somebody like Roman Reigns, but that shouldn't stop them from bringing him up and being the top heel right now, because he's the only guy that I can think of right now in that entire company, that's credible and could be a top heel. Only guy right now, not injured, only guy I can think of. That's all I've got for NXT. I've got to sit here and go through everything that oh right. Okay. Hold on. I'm looking at the stuff that you guys posted for things wrestlers or people wrestlers look like. If you have any questions, throw them in the chat. I'll chat for a little while longer with you guys. Sorry, I've been ignoring the chat. Not because I'm actively trying to ignore you guys, but because I had to do the review and my notes are on my computer, so I couldn't really switch back and forth. It's hard to do it when you're on your own. But go ahead and post whatever questions you guys have. I'll try to answer as many of them as I can. Let me see here. Going to the podcast Twitter right now. Rumble predictions we're actually going to save for next week. I would have 2 monitors. The only problem is that I'm working on a laptop. Who do I think is going to win the Rumble? Truth be told, I think it's going to be Roman Reigns. There's not really a doubt in my mind that Roman Reigns is going to win. Hold on. I'm getting to the podcast Twitter right now. How will AJ Styles do? I truth be told, I have no clue. I think he's gonna get in there and they're gonna let him look impressive. I'd really hope so. But I don't have him like going in and doing anything too crazy. You know what I mean? I think maybe he eliminates 2 guys, and then that's what they give him. I would love to see him just go wild, and get off as much. I hope they let him stay in there for like 20, 25 minutes. I don't know if that'll happen. I'd like to actually see AJ Styles and Roman Reigns confront each other at some point. I'd like that. How badly do you think Roman will be booed? I actually don't think Roman will get booed a lot, honestly. I actually think Roman Reigns will be all right in this one. I think at some point, I think you have a better chance of Roman just not really getting a great reaction than him getting booed. I think his reaction just may be mild. Let me see. Do you really care about the winner of the Rumble? I am like 99.9% sure that Roman is leaving Mania as the WWE champ, so it doesn't matter to me. I mean, there have been rumors that that Wyatt and Brock are supposed to be a thing for Mania, and that there was a rumor going around that Wyatt is going to win the title and Brock Lesnar was going to be the #1 contender going into Mania, which I laugh at. I don't think that's happening at all. I mean, I really don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, I don't care about this Rumble for a lot of reasons. That really has to do all with their booking. But yeah, Rumble is Sunday. I'm sorry if I said Saturday. You know what I mean. Or if I said Friday, I can't remember what I said. Yes, the Royal Rumble is Sunday. But yeah, I don't know. Does it matter? I guess it does, maybe in terms of how you book going into WrestleMania. So if like Roman Reigns wins, you have to build up Triple H to become, or sorry, not Triple H, or whoever it is to become the contender. If it's Roman Reigns loses, then it's like, how does Roman Reigns even get a shot again? Because the Authority have successfully taken the title off of him. Why would they give him another shot? You know what I mean? Let me see. Which next superstars will debut at the Royal Rumble? I will say this, don't get your hopes up about Nakamura. I think it's just going to be AJ Styles is the only guy that's going to appear there. I mean, it could very be I don't think there's going to be too many NXT guys either. If there's one NXT guy that might show up, I would say Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, I think, will be the guy that does it. Daniel Bryan might come back as well. But I'm not putting like too much thought into that one. I think, you know, if he comes back, fine. If he doesn't, well, we knew what it was. Let me see what else we got here. I would love to see Kevin Owens get pushed as the number one heel. I was getting ready to say, you know what? I did say that Samoa Joe was the only guy, but I mean, but that's their fault with putting him with Cena three times and having him lose twice after he won the first time. But Kevin Owens is another guy that legitimately should be the top heel. I think he starts getting that run maybe next year, or not next year, but after Mania. SmackDown's new commentator. So yeah, Mauro Ranallo. I like him because he doesn't sound scripted or fake. He takes his time in what he says. It doesn't feel as if like he knows everything that the wrestler is going to do. He takes his time and calls what actually happens. And it's nice. I do like that they put Lawler in a heel role with Ranallo because I think that Lawler works best when he's a heel. So I really do. I'm a huge fan of Ranallo, but I'm also a huge fan of them making Lawler a heel and that tandem actually working very well. Yeah, he doesn't do like the Michael Cole things too, where it's just like, oh my, or you know, like anything like that. Like Michael Cole just kind of takes the drama out of everything, and I don't even think it's his fault either. It's just Vince McMahon is in his ear. All right, let's look at these what wrestlers look like. So let's look at this gimmick. Oh, that's funny. They've got James Storm and Bobby Roode. He's writing out on an igloo thing. By the way, TNA ratings actually have gone up the past 2 weeks, which I think is actually kind of funny. Angelo Dawkins looks like that one dad that tries too hard to be cool. Yeah, in that picture, he sure does. He looks like such a geek. That's a good question. Who do you think AJ Styles should face at Mania? It's actually a really good question because I'd have to imagine if they're going to bring AJ Styles in, they better put him in there at Mania. It depends. What does he come in as? Does he come in as a face or a heel? If he comes in as a face, maybe I was going to say maybe you can put him in. I don't know. That's a good question. Wow. I mean, maybe you put him in with a new guy in NXT. Do you put him in a title feud? Do you? Because I would not put him in a program with any of these 50-50 guys. I would maybe put him in a. You know what? I would give him, if he's a face, I would give him Del Rio at Mania, unless they want to continue this Kalisto storyline. Then you keep him away from that. Or even as a face or a heel, have him go up against Dean Ambrose. Let's see what else. When you go out to the bar with the girl. Yeah, Big Show was on what was it? A bad lip sync, or what is it? Lip sync challenge or whatever it is, with Olivia Munn, and they had him come out there. Wow, yeah. That image of Big Show is hilarious. Let's see. If Vince McMahon screws over Finn Balor once he's called up to the main roster in the Balor Club, will this create nuclear friction between Triple H and Vince? No. I mean, the Triple H already knows what it is, and that's why he's keeping Balor down there as long as he can. So no, I don't think that would even happen to begin with. I think Vince takes one look at Finn Balor and sees money. He will not see that. He doesn't see that in like guys like Tyler Breeze or anything like that. So I don't think that would ever happen. Any idea on surprise returns? You know, it's funny. When James Storm was actually in NXT, I thought James Storm would actually be the guy. I thought when I said there was guys who could show up at the Rumble, I thought James Storm could be a guy. Now he's not here anymore. You know what would be actually pretty cool? If Triple H is actually running this Rumble. If Triple H is pretty much the punchline to be at the end of this Rumble. What if he does bring in Samoa Joe? A Samoa Joe thing could be interesting. Returns. They're in Orlando, Florida. I'm trying to think. Are there any wrestlers based in Orlando or who call Orlando? I mean, Liger would be fun, but I don't think that's going to happen. I can't think of any like returns really. Yeah, I mean, if there was anybody that I would like to see, they can't do New Age Outlaws anymore. They can't because they got rid of Billy Gunn. Yeah, I just there's nobody else. Hardys are how about the Hardys? The Hardys are in TNA. The Hardys are so much in TNA. Matt Hardy is the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. I don't think Jake the Snake's going to be there. I mean, he's been rehabbing recently. I don't know. Let's see. That's all I see right now for what wrestlers look like. There's who is in this picture? This is hilarious. Quest 71084. This one's actually pretty good. Go on the Twitter right now and look at this. When you take Ball His Life to the extreme, and essentially he throws the dude does the old off the heezy, so he throws the ball off the dude's head, and then he dunks on him, and then he Hurricane Rana's him at the same time. This is actually really funny. That just might win this week. Oh, you know what? This one by Austin. When Wiser leaves you hanging mid podcast, and it's the is that Angelo? I think that's Angelo Dawkins. He's just there with a towel on his back. When you think somebody's waving at you, but you think they're waving at the person behind you, and there's a picture of Asuka entering and interrupting Eva's entrance. That one's pretty good. Never mind. Whoever sent it deleted it. Let's see. Any other questions before I wrap up here? Oh, is that true? Is Triple H actually going to? Oh, so Triple H is controlling all the pay-per-views this year. If that is true, then I would really like to see what happens. I don't think Cesaro is coming back for Rumble. They said that it could be possible that he's ready for Mania. If he does come out for Rumble, I would honestly be surprised. But I'd love to see a pop for that. According to Wiser, we're not doing predictions tonight. We're going to be doing predictions on another day. So that may be Saturday is what I'm thinking. We'll do that for it. So I'll hold off on predictions. But if I had to say who is going to win the Rumble, going with Roman Reigns. I honestly think they're going with Roman Reigns. Dean heel turn possible? No, I don't think so. You do not want that. You do not want Dean heel going up against face Reigns. You do not want that. Trust me, you don't. Well, not that we wouldn't want that, but if their whole idea is to get Reigns over, that'll never work. All right. That's all I've got, guys. Thank you so much for sticking out with me, at least. I know I kind of had to carry this on my own. It is what it is. Hey, look, I'm not gonna fake and act like these guys don't exist. They're wrestlers. It's not their fault that they're booked this way. It's not on them, and I respect them. I mean, because they put in the work here, and it's not our fault that booking. It's not their fault. I'm sorry that booking treats them poorly. But you know what? I enjoyed it tonight. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me. As always, it's Blackjack. It's 21 Blackjack on Twitter. Wiza, who's not here, at Wiza Now. Twitter podcast. Podcast for the Twitter is at Neat Clean Finish. I guess I'll see you guys next week.